Hello friends, welcome to Insight Learners. So in this video we shall discuss the bitwise, that is the section SQL and PL/SQL. So we shall quickly see what are the MCQ questions that will be asked in PL/SQL and the SQL. So there will be 15 different questions, so 15 MCQ questions and you need to answer it. So we shall quickly see the first MCQ question. So PL or SQL supports the data type of S. So which are the various data type? The PL or SQL, it is one of the SQL query language. So what does it support? So whether it supports scalar data type or whether it supports only the composite data type, all the above or none of the above. So PL or SQL scalar data type, which includes the various. So composite data type includes arrays, everything data type. Scalar data type, it includes basic data type like int, float. So you can say that PL or SQL supports both the data types, that is scalar as well as the composite data type. So the answer for this question is all the above. So that is all the above is nothing but both the data types, scalar as well as composite data type. So the answer for this question is option C. So next thing is the second question. There is a query. A student underscore grades table has three different columns, and the student underscore ID number of 12 and semester underscore end date and GPA number 4,3. So here the register has requested a report listing the students' grade point averages, which should be sorted from highest grade point and which should be and to the lowest with each semester, starting from the earliest date, and which statement accomplishes this. So which means in simple you need to write a query to display the student ID, then after that GPA and this end of the semester, that too from the name of the table is student underscore grades, in which you need to display the in the highest GPA. So you need to display the GPA. If you need highest, it should be displaying in the descending order. And next thing is starting with the earliest date and then lowest semester. So lowest semester is nothing but it should display an ascending. So if you display an ascending, so which will display the smaller one first. So for this, which query is suitable, you need to find. So by seeing the option, you can say that first thing is the GPA should be in descending. So check the GPA is here descending and semester end should be in ascending. So in other cases, GPA is in ascending. So you can say only in option B, that is you need to select student underscore ID, semester underscore end, GPA. From the name of the table is student underscore grades, and you need to use order by in order to display the result in ascending or descending. So order by GPA descending, which will display the highest GPA first, comma semester underscore n in ascending, because you need to display the semester lowest. So you can say from the option given below, the answer B is the correct answer for the question. So similarly, we shall quickly see the third MCQ question. If an unique key constraint on date column is created, will it accept the rows that are inserted with sys date? So option is whether it will or won't, you need to say. You can say won't, because the unique key constraint on the date column, so the date syntax, so date column is created which will accept the rows that are inserted with sysdate. So you can say it will not accept the rows that are inserted with the sysdate, because the date syntax is simple, it is dd mm yy, and for sysdate it is different. So you can say it won't. You can say the answer for the third question is B. So option B is the correct answer for the third question. So then the fourth question, there is a query. You need to create a view emp underscore vu, and the view should allow the users to manipulate the records of only the employees that are working for departments 10 or 20, and which SQL statement should be used to create the view vmp underscore vmp. So it should be emp. So it should be emp underscore vu. We need to create a view that is emp underscore vu. And then after that, so the employees that are working in departments 10, 20, so you use in keyword. So from these options, we shall quickly see what is the correct syntax of writing the query. So first one is create force view. So in order to create view, you will not use the force view. So force view will not come with the syntax. So even first option is not correct. Second also we have used force view. Force view will not come. To create a view, you will just use create view followed by, here they have told you need to create a view emp underscore view. So create view emp underscore view as, then after that you need to select from the name of the table. So select, it should display the records. So select star from employees. So it should display all the records of the persons or of the employees who are working at departments 10 or 20. So select star from employees where department ID in 10, 20. So in 10, 20, and since it is a PL SQL, so you need to check it. So you need to manipulate the record. So you need to manipulate means you need to check. So for that you use check option in case of PL SQL. So you can say the answer B is the correct answer. Create view emp underscore view as select star from employees where department underscore ID in 10, 20 with check option. So for this query the option B is the correct answer. So similarly the fifth question, which of the following is not true about the PL? So PL or SQL data structure. So which is not true about the PL or SQL data structure? V array. So whether it is a fixed size sequential collection of elements. So array means it is having a fixed size, and next thing is the elements can be of various data types. Third one is it is used to store an ordered collection of data. In array you can store the ordered collection of data, and each element in V array has an index associated with it. So similarly, like array, it has fixed size, you can store ordered collection of data, and each element it is having an index. Array has an index. But the B option, the elements can be of various data types. So this is not true with respect to the data structure of V array in PL or SQL. So the answer for the question is option B. So then sixth question is again there is a query. Examine the structure of the students table. Student underscore ID number not null. Primary key student underscore name varchar of 30 and course ID varchar 2 of 10 not null. Marks number start underscore date finish underscore date. So this is the first thing is the description, or you can say the query. So what you need to do is you need to create a report of 10 students who achieved the highest ranking in the course, that is int SQL. So int SQL is the name of the course and who completed the course in the year 1999. So which SQL statement accomplishes this task? So here these are the options. So first thing is you need to select student underscore ID marks, then after that row number is rank from students, where they have told it should create 10 students. So where row number should be less than equal to 10 and finish date it should be between, so only for 1999. So Jan 1, so for the first month of Jan 99 to 31st of December 99. So and course ID is equal to int underscore SQL order by marks in descending. So this is the first query. So then after that we shall quickly see the second option. So we shall see the second option for the sixth query question. So again second option is select student underscore ID comma marks row number rank. From that you are going to select student underscore ID comma marks from students. Then first you will order the marks in descending order, means you will display the, so row number it should be rank, and then after that you will display the, so you're going to display the marks from the students, that is the highest marks in descending order, and then after that where row number it should be less than equal to 10 and finish date it should be between 1st Jan 1999 to December 31 1999, and the course ID is equal to int underscore SQL. So here what in the second query we are first displaying the highest, so we are displaying the highest marks that is obtained by the student, and then where row number it should be less than equal to 10 and finish date, and then where the course ID is int underscore SQL. So this is the proper way of writing the code. You can say proper way of writing the query. In the third option we have used row ID, so we need to use row number. So this will not come. Then again in the fourth option, so select student, so and course ID int underscore SQL. Then again here it is used order by marks in descending. It should be written inside the select statement, not the end of the So not at the end. So you can say in the option B it is correctly used. So marks, order by marks in descending, then for entire row number it should be less than equal to 10 and course ID should be equal to int underscore SQL. So you can say the option B is the correct answer for the question for this query. So again, seventh one, there is a query. Examine the structure of the employees table, column name, data type, remarks, employee underscore ID number not null, primary key, EMP underscore name varchar 2 of 30, job underscore ID varchar 2 of 20 not null, and sal number. And then manager ID or MGR ID number references employee underscore ID column, department underscore ID number foreign key to department underscore ID column of the departments table. So this is used to create a table, and you are going to insert the values in the table. So what you need to do is you need to create a view called emp underscore view that allows the user to insert the rows to the view. So which SQL statement, when it is used to create the emp underscore view allows the user to insert the row. So see with the first query. Create view emp underscore view as select department underscore ID sum of salary total cell. They did not tell us to find the total cell. This will not come. Moving to the second query, create view emp underscore view as select. What you need to select? Employee underscore ID, then name as well as job ID and department ID. From the name of the table is employees, where MGIR, so where manager ID in 102, 120. So where manager ID in 102, 120. So this is the ID which is given. So what you need to do is you need to create a view. So you need to create a view which allows the user to insert the rows to the view. So here you are creating a view and you are going to insert the values into that row. So that is manager ID table. So again here you are using this. So again as department underscore ID, but job ID is missing, so third query will not come. So in the fourth query you are using distinct, so there is no need to use distinct keyword itself. So only option B is the correct answer, which has used all the rows: employee ID, employee name, job ID, department ID from employees, where manager ID in. Within the manager ID row you are going to insert the values 102, 120. So you can say the answer for the question is option B is the correct answer for the query. The next thing is the eighth one. You need to give the manager the role, the ability. You need to give the manager role the ability to select from, insert into, and modify existing rows in the student underscore grades table. And anyone given this manager role, he should be able to pass those privileges on to others. So again, which is the correct option for that? So for that eighth question, the first one is grant, select, insert, modify. So there is no modify keyword in SQL. There is an update. If you want to modify, you will use update. So in the second one, you can say grant, select, insert, update on. The name of the table is student underscore grades. So what you are going to update to manager. So to manager with grant option. So he should be ability to select the existing rows. So to the manager with the grant option. So here there is no grant options, as third will not come. And in the fourth question there is also, so this is not complete. Only to role manager you need to provide the grant option. So here we have used modify. There is no modify keyword in the SQL. There is an update keyword. So you can say option B, that is grant, select, insert, update on student underscore grades to the manager with the grant option. That is again for the eighth question. Option B is the correct answer. So answer is option B. The next one is the ninth question. What is built-in subprogram? So whether stored procedure and function, whether it is a collection of a subprogram or whether it is a collection of package. So in a built-in subprogram, it is not a stored procedure and function. So the subprogram, it cannot be the collection of subprogram and not the collection of packages. You can say none of the above answers are matching this question. That is option D. The next thing is the 10th question. Which of the following is not true? So which of the following is not true? about PL or SQL constants and literals. About the PL or SQL constants and literals. So the first option is that a constant declaration requires an initial value. So next thing is a constant declaration cannot impose the not null constraint. Correct. So the constant declaration cannot impose the not null constraint. Third option is that the constant declared using the constant keyword wrong, and the constant holds the values that once declared does not change in the program. This is true because when you declare or initialize the value to the constant, you cannot change that value in the program, and constant declaration requires initial value and it is declared using the constant keyword. So it is declared using the constant keyword. So a constant is declared using constant keyword. So remaining option is option B. A constant declaration, it cannot impose not null constraint. So you can say again the option B is the correct answer for the 10th question. The next thing is 11th question. What method do you use to assign a name to an error code? Exception init, exception underscore assign, pragma and exception. So if you want to assign, so as an init is nothing but it is used to initialize. So you can say to assign a name to an error code. Error code is exception. If you want to assign, we use init. So again answer for the 11th question is option A, that is exception init. The next thing is the 12th question. How can you call reports from forms 4.0? So the 12th question is how can you call reports from forms 4.0? Call underscore product built underscore in, then run underscore product built underscore in. So if you want to call the reports, you need to run it. So for that you use run underscore product built underscore in. So that is option B is the correct answer for the 12th question. Next thing is the 13th question. Which form of continue will exit any loop? Continue if, continue by itself, none, or all forms of continue start the loop over. And next thing is continue when. So in order to exit any loop, we use continue when. So that is answer D is the correct answer. Option D is the correct answer for the 13th question. So next thing is the 14th question. What type of SQL statements must you use execute immediate? So you use insert into. So not truncate table, delete from, merge into. There is only one option, that is insert into is the correct answer for the 14th question, that is option B. Then the last question, 15th question. To traverse a for loop backwards, how do you change it? Whether you add step by -1 or only flip the order of start and end values, or we use reverse. To loop backwards, in case of PL/SQL or SQL, we use reverse. And whether you will flip both the lower and upper bounds, or you will leave the bounds the same. So if you use reverse, you need to flip both the lower and upper bounds. So therefore you can say the option C is the correct answer for the 15th question. So in this video we have covered all the 15 questions of the PL or SQL part that was asked in Bitwise. So in the next video we shall discuss the remaining part. Thank you friends for watching, and do subscribe our channel for more updates.